Hello, hi everybody. This is lecture number 13 in the cybersecurity for beginners course. In this lecture, we're going to talk about the passwords and authentication mechanisms. Only two mechanisms only. Let's introduce both of them. They are fundamentals of the securing systems. By that, we can protect the sensitive data and ensuring that only the authorized users or person can access specific resources. So what is the password? It's the kind of a string of characters, sequence of characters used to verify the identity of a person or user, where he or she attempting to access a system or a computer or mobile, whatever it is. It is the most common form for authentication due to simplicity and everybody knows it, familiarity. Usually the mechanism is just the user key in the password uh, in the device using the whatever keyboard, and then the device will send to the server where trying to provide the matching password from the password database. So there are a few characteristics of passwords. Of course, we try to focus or try to advise everybody to use a strong password. So what is this strong password actually? Usually in the length of between 13 to 16 characters. And how complex it's combines of maybe uppercases or lowercase letters, numbers, and sometimes special characters. Just for example here, for example P at SSW, so it's much stronger than password 123. You can see this one password can be guessed actually. Also supposed to be or should be unpredictable. I mean, avoid common words like personal information or passport number or whatever it is. Just here I would like to show the weak password like John 1990. Yeah, this is maybe a the name of the user or the birthday of the user. And compared with this, what we call strong password, you see it's mixed up from characters, numbers, special characters or special signs also, upper case, lower case. So this is what we recommend usually. This is some common mistakes by users. Sometimes they reusing password more than one account. You have account in Google, you have account in Gmail, account whatever this account, another app, an app. So the good thing to use different password to different account, and usually also the password which can be guessed or what we call it guessable password, such as like from 1 to 9. Usually people do that, or maybe just the word password is it. So this is storing passwords insecurely, like when you write it somewhere in your note or outside the keyboard or not saving in the right place. So this is the common mistakes actually. So the best practice or the good practice for password management, you should use maybe what we call it here password manager to generate and store complex passwords securely, and also need to update the passwords regularly, especially after security maybe incident or security breach. Of course, avoid sharing password with others. Maybe don't give your password to your daughter, your son, whatever it is. And of course, the list is quite long, but just I'm highlighting a few only. How the authentication mechanism work? This usually verify this authentication. It's verifying process for the users or maybe device accessing a system. So password are one form of authentication, but there are others also mechanisms that provide verifying level of security. This is the type of the authentication mechanism. We have single factor authentication, two-factor authentication, and of course everyone has advantage and disadvantage. The first one, the single factor authentication, which relies on one credential security, usually password. And for example, when you look into your website with only username and password, so the limitation here is the vulnerability to attack, possibly like phishing and brute force also. The two-factor authentication, which require two forms of verification, for example, the password and something else like mobile device receiving a code or OTP code or what other. or maybe others will come later on, maybe using the physical identification like face detection or fingerprint. Or the good thing, for example, here or the advantage of these two-factor authentication, increase the security level by requiring additional one or maybe what we call it two-layer verification or two-layer security. This is the type of authentication. There's so many, of course, again, multi, or say single, and this is second, two, and we have multi, more than one. For example, like common use for two usually, like the sometimes knowing the PIN password, and then sometimes use the security token, smartphone, and also sometimes you can have biometric trace like I mentioned, fingerprint or face recognition or what. This is just example looking using password and fingerprint scan, and can be one time code. So maybe three factor or three level of authentication. Of course, there is also another thing we call it passwordless authentication, where you have no password at all entirely, using alternative method like for biometric, fingerprint, face ID, or security key, maybe hardware token or whatever. Just example here during the signing in the app, using only fingerprint scan, and many apps now requiring for verification to show the face recognition. Or so this one could reduce some kind of risk associated with the weak passwords. Of course, there are so many also other protocols and what called standards. One of them, the OAuth, is an open standard token-based authentication. Also, there is something called security assertion mark language, and also fast identity online. This kind of the protocols and standards used for security. Of course, there are so many attacks based attacks on password and authentication. One of them, the brute force attack, which the hacker attempted to try to for possible password or combination, and to prevent that, use long or complex password and account logout, also lockout after multiple failures. For example, usually most of the system they give you three trial to access the system. After 3 trial, they will block the. Also, some other attack, the phishing here, with the kind of trick users into refilling their credential, like asking for some data or using the link. And to prevent that, you have to, of course, we have to be aware. I mean, train users morely. Also, the credential stuffing also used leaked credential to gain unauthorized access to the multiple access. And also the man in the middle attack, also very common, this one, intercepting communication or steal credential. To avoid that, you have to encrypt the data or use the security HTTPS. Of course, there are a lot of emerging technologies, especially for nowadays, like biometric authentication, which cannot be duplicated at all. For example, use unique trace for like fingerprint, facial feature, or voice. Of course, there's a lot of advances, but also it has some kind of limitation also. Privacy concerns and potential spoofing with advanced technology. Also, there's behavior biometric also, and also there nowadays blockchain based authentication. We come to the conclusion. So we understand that the passwords and authentication mechanisms they are the backbone of digital system security. While passwords remain widely used, most of the people using the password, or most of the users, their vulnerability highlight the need for stronger alternative like two-factor and multi-factor authentication. So embracing modern methods nowadays, such as like biometric or password systems, ensures robust protection against cyber threats. So understanding and implementing these mechanisms, of course, is necessary or essential for securing personal and organization data effectively. Staying safe in the digital world. Thank you.